Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Srimad Bhagavatam overview class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tatati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नितिनामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. We are discussing from the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and last time we started the first chapter, we completed the first chapter, and in the first chapter we discussed how all the sages of Naimisharanya they had assembled to perform a huge sacrifice, 1,000 years sacrifice for the welfare of all the living entities, all the human beings, all the jivas. Even though they were doing so many sacrifices, but still they were not satisfied. Only thing which was happening was their faces were becoming black. They themselves say this in the 18th chapter of the first canto. Dhumra dhumrat mavan bhavan. Only thing which was happening was our faces was it was becoming black. That's what they said. And they requested Sut Goswami that you please tell us about the process of devotional service. And they asked 6 questions. What is the ultimate goal of all the humanity? What is the essence of all the scriptures? Please tell us why Krishna appears in this world. What is the purpose of Krishna's appearance? Fourthly, they asked, please tell us about the Purusha avatars. Fifth question was, please tell us about the Leela avatars. And the sixth question was, where did religion take shelter after Krishna went back to the spiritual world? So these are the 6 questions. Now, in response to the 6 questions, the second chapter, which is entitled as the Divinity and Divine Service, in this chapter, 3 items are described. The process of devotion, that is called Abhidheya, that is the bhakti process. The goal, that is the pure love of Godhead, and the object of worship, that is the Supreme Lord Krishna. So Sut Goswami, when he heard the prayers, the questions of the sages of Naimisharanya, he became very satisfied. First of all, he thanked them, and he attempted to reply. So actually, this is the mood of all the speakers of Srimad Bhagavatam. Whenever we are speaking Krishna Katha and the audience asks questions, the speaker should not think, oh, just see, now I'll be the deliverer of this, all these devotees. I will benefit all these devotees. No. The mood of the speaker is he is always grateful to the audience. He is always grateful to the devotees for asking such questions. And this mood comes again and again in Bhagavatam. The speakers congratulating the audience, glorifying the audience, you know, as the sages of Naimisharanya, they asked question. Sud Goswami, first of all, he glorified Varyaneshate Prashna, Kritolokahitam Ripa, Atmavit Sammata Pumsam Shrotavyadishu Yapara. So actually, this is the glorification by Sukadeva Goswami, which comes in the second canto. Shukdev Goswami also glorified Parikshit Maharaj that, oh, you have asked such a wonderful question. And we saw in the first chapter, Munaya Sadhu Prishtoham Bhavadbhir Lokamangalam. It will come in the second chapter. You have asked very wonderful question. It is for the welfare of entire world. And we'll also see in the second canto when Narad Muni goes to Brahma and Brahmaji, Narad Muni asks Brahma about the origin of this universe, who is the creator. Brahma became so very happy. Samyak karunikasjedam vatsate vichikitsitam yadaham chodita samya bhagavad virya darshane. There also Brahma, he is congratulating Narad Muni. He says, "O Narad Muni, you have done great favor to me. You have given me a chance to speak about Krishna." So that is the mood of all the devotees who are speaking Krishna Katha. When we are speaking Krishna Katha, we should speak as a service. Not that, oh, I am going to deliver the whole world. No, it is for our welfare. We get benefited. In fact, when somebody asks questions in Krishna Katha, three people get benefited: the person who is asking, the person who is answering, and the others who are hearing. So, therefore, the speaker gets benefited a lot because he is getting a chance to speak about Krishna. This mood of humility is very, very essential to advance in spiritual life. How humble we are, according to that, Krishna gives mercy. You know, Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena. In that consciousness, when we are eager to give all the respect to others, expecting none in return, being humble than the blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree, in that consciousness we can always chant. So now, Suda Goswami, after he thanked all these sages, before beginning, he offers his prayers to his spiritual master, Shukdev Goswami. So these verses, which now Suda Goswami is speaking, they are the verses which are very essential for the speakers of Srimad Bhagavatam. What should be the mood of the speaker of Bhagavatam? That is described in these verses. How to offer respects to the original speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukdev Goswami. He says, Yam prabrajantamanupetya krityam dvaipayano virahakatar ajuhava पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवोऽभिनेदु tam sarvabhutaridayam munimanatosmi. So Suta Goswami is glorifying Shukdev Goswami. That Shukdev Goswami, as soon as he took birth, he went out, he gave up his family life, and he went to the forest. He accepted renounced order of life. Immediately after taking birth, he left his family and went to the forest. He had not undergone any of the purificatory ceremonies till he left. And his father, Vyasdev, Dvaipayano Virahakatar Ajuhava, and Dvaipayan Vyas, his father, was very much aggrieved. And he was running behind Shukdev Goswami. Shukdev Goswami was running in the forest, and Vyasdev was going behind to call him, to catch him. Putreti tanmayataya, and he was calling, "Oh son, please come back, oh my son, please come back." but only the trees responded. That means the echo was only heard, nothing else happened. So this is a very interesting thing. Actually, Sud Goswami is saying that Shukdev Goswami made the trees speak. Let that Shukdev Goswami enter my heart and also allow me to speak Srimad Bhagavatam. That Shukdev Goswami can enter the hearts of all the living entities. Let that Shukdev Goswami enter my heart and let me speak Srimad Bhagavatam. So, therefore, the sages, when they asked for the essence of all the topics, Suta started reflecting. He started thinking, okay, I'll speak the substance of all the scriptures. I'll speak about the process of devotional service. And before starting that, he is offering prayers to the Supreme Lord. And this is very, very important. And Prabhupada writes in the purport that as Shukdev Goswami, when he took birth, he was a liberated soul. But in the material world, conditioned souls, when they take birth, they are born as a Shudra. Janmana Jayate Shudra. Shudra means who has no understanding about spiritual life. By the purificatory process, one becomes qualified Brahmana. And therefore, Prabhupada said, anyone who takes shelter of the holy names of the Lord, who starts practicing devotional service, one should consider that devotee as the best of the personalities. One should not discriminate. Oh, this devotee is from this family, this devotee is from this region. Oh, this devotee is from Dharavi. This devotee is from a very posh locality. As soon as a person takes to the process of Krishna consciousness, he becomes the best of all the devotees. Aho batshvapachoto gariyan yajjihvagre vartate nama tubhyam. Even if a person is born in a family of dog eaters, if he takes to spiritual life, if he takes to Krishna consciousness, starts chanting, he becomes the best of the personalities. Suta Goswami continues the glorification of Shukdev Goswami. He says Shukdev Goswami was so very merciful. Yasvanubhavamakila Shrutisaramakam Adhyatma Deepam Atititirshatam Tamondham Samsarinam Karunaya Purana Guhyam Tam Vyasa Sunumupayami Gurum Muninam. Very beautiful verse. Again, he's saying Shukdev Goswami, he personally assimilated the essence of all the scriptures. Shruti Saram Ekam, Shruti Sar, essence of all the scriptures, he assimilated. And this knowledge which Shukdev Goswami spoke, it was like the torchlight. We heard, in the first class that this Bhagavatam is like a lamp. This lamp of knowledge dispels the darkness of ignorance which is there in the heart of everyone. Atiti tirshatam, the intense darkness which is there in the heart of every living entity is dispelled by this light of Bhagavatam. Samsarinam karunaya purana guhyam. He spread this message of Bhagavatam for the welfare of all the living entities, just to show mercy to all the people who are so very engrossed in materialistic life. Samsarina means people who have only understanding of how to enjoy this world. To give them a chance to perfect their life, Shukdev Goswami spoke Bhagavatam. Tam Vyasa Sunumupayami Gurum Muninam. I offer my obeisances to that Shukdev Goswami. So Chakravarti Thakur writes that Sud Goswami is actually telling the reason for Shukdev's inspiring him. What is the reason that Shukdev Goswami inspired him? He said, Shukdev Goswami delivered Parikshit Maharaj, but he did not only deliver Parikshit, he delivered all the persons by speaking this Bhagavatam. Shukdev Goswami was a liberated soul from birth, and therefore he had such realizations that he could dispel the darkness of ignorance of all the living entities. Prabhupada writes an interesting point in the purport. He says there is no point in arguing that a materialistic man can be happy. It's very straightforward, Prabhupada is saying. Materialistic person can never be happy. He says, no materialistic creature, be he the supreme Brahma or insignificant creature, nobody can be happy in this world. Although everyone tries to make the permanent plans for happiness, but all their plans are destroyed. They are baffled by the laws of nature. In fact, Srila Prabhupada and Bhagavatam tells again and again, people in the world, they are trying to extract happiness, but what they are doing is they are tasting their own blood. Just like camels like to eat thorns. I don't know if you have seen any of you have seen any video. Camel likes to eat thorns. And when he's eating the thorns, the blood comes out. And he's tasting his own blood and thinking, oh wow, this thorn is so very tasty. So people in the world, in course of enjoying this world, they suffer. They taste their own blood. And they think, oh wow, this is not so bad. So after glorifying Shukdev Goswami, he offers prayers to 4 deities. These prayers we offer, every time we speak Bhagavatam. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayet. So he offers respects to 4 personalities. Unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayan, unto the Nara Narayan Rishis, because Nara Narayan Rishis, they are the predominating deities of Bharatavarsha. And he offers obeisances to Mother Saraswati, who is the goddess of learning. And then he offers his respects to Vyasdev, who wrote this Bhagavatam. So Prabhupada writes, all the Vedic literatures and Puranas, they are meant for conquering the darkest region of material existence. So Vyasdev, he wrote all the scriptures, Puranas, Vedas, Itihasa, Mahabharat, but still he was not satisfied. We'll discuss this in detail in the next chapter. That Vyasdev was not satisfied even after writing all these scriptures. And then he wrote Bhagavatam. People in the world, they are suffering, they are struggling for happiness, but in that struggle they never get happiness, or they get very little happiness. So after offering obeisances to Shukdev Goswami, Supreme Lord Narayan, Naranarayan Rishi, Saraswati Devi and Vyasdev, now he glorifies the questions which were raised by the sages. Munaya sadhu prishtoham bhavadbhir lokamangalam yatkritah Krishna samprashno yena atma suprasidati. He says, O sages, sadhu prishto. What a wonderful question you have asked. Sadhu means very wonderful, good questions. Why these questions are wonderful? Bhavadbhir lokamangalam. They are for the welfare of entire world. How they will benefit the entire world? Yatkrita Krishna samprashno, because they are related to Krishna. Not any questions benefit the world. Only questions which are related to Krishna benefits the whole world. Yena atma suprasidati. And then what is the result? This is very important thing. Everybody wants to be satisfied, but people cannot does not understand how to be satisfied. Yena atma suprasidati. Superficially we may be satisfied, but if you want our real self to be satisfied, then we have to inquire about God. As Sanatan Goswami, when he went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he asked, Ke ami kene amar jare tapatre. Who am I? Why I am suffering in this world? These are the questions which we have to ask. Why I am suffering? What is my actual identity? Then we will be suprasidati. Prabhupada writes there. The whole world is full of questions and answers. Everyone in this world is asking questions. The birds in the morning, they get up and start asking questions. Oh, where is food? Where is food? All the businessmen, they are asking, oh, how will I earn more? People in the share market, they are asking about the prices of the shares. Everybody is asking questions. And one time in Kumbh Mela, our devotees, they had put a stall, and one person came and said, and they had put a stall, question answer booth. You ask any questions related to spiritual life, we will answer. So one person came and asked, Swamiji, आपके पास सब प्रश्नों के उत्तर हैं? Do you have answer to all the questions? So the devotee said, yes, whatever is related to the spiritual life. No, no, no. But you have put the board question answer, man. That means you should have answers to all the questions. Please tell me, where is my wife? I have lost my wife. Another person came and he showed his hand. Swamiji, हाथ देखते हैं क्या? So when will I become rich? So all these questions are not supposed to be asked. One should ask, how should I progress in spiritual life? And then after glorifying the sages, glorifying Shukdev Goswami, now he starts answering the question. So this chapter is full of very, very famous verses, which we hear almost every day, quite often we hear. So now Shukdev Goswami, Suta Goswami is answering question 1 and 2. What is the goal of all this? What is the absolute good for humanity, and what is the essence of all the scriptures? Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adhokshaje hetukya pratihata yayatma suprasidati. So now Suta Goswami is making a very brilliant point. Savai pumsam paro dharma. What is the absolute dharma of every living entity? Yato bhaktir adhokshaje. Devotional service unto the Supreme Lord is the supreme dharma, supreme occupation for all the living entities. And what is the characteristic of this devotional service? Ahetuki and apratihata. So devotional service, how we will advance in devotional service, it depends on two things. Advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on two things: our purity of intent and our consistency of attempt. Ahetuki and apratihata, these two things are very, very important. Why I am coming to spiritual life? Why I am practicing Krishna consciousness? Purity of intent is very important. I want to serve Krishna, I want to please Krishna. And apratihata, whatever may happen, I will continue to serve Krishna. People many times they lose their faith when things go wrong, when things do not happen the way they want. Nothing can stop the practice of devotional service. Whoever you may be, wherever you may be, in whatever situation you may be, you can continue practicing devotional service. Ahetuki and apratihata. So that is the absolute good for all humanity. And then he answers the question 2 in the next verse in detail. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitah Janayati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayad Ahetukam. So now, by this process of devotional service, what will happen? What transformation we should uh, expect in ourselves when we are practicing devotional service? Because we should judge ourselves. We should take an inventory of our thoughts on a regular basis. How should we understand that we are progressing in spiritual life? Many times devotees they ask, how should I understand that I'm advancing in Krishna consciousness? This is the parameter. This verse shows the parameter. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitah. By rendering devotional service unto the Supreme Lord Krishna, two things have to happen. If these two things are not happening, that means there is some problem in our practice. Janayatiyashu vairagyam. Devotees gradually they become disinterested in the material things. Those who are practicing Krishna consciousness since some years, they can tell their own experience. The way the day they started chanting and now, is there some difference? Have we become detached? Have we become less interested in the material life? Are the same movies still attract us? Are the same things of the world, the glamour of the world still attracts us? It has to decrease. Janayati ashu vairagyam. Very quickly, it does not take time. Very quickly, devotees become disinterested in in material life. Vairagya appears in the heart. What is Vairagya? There are two words, Vairagya and Virakti. Vairagya means the taste for sense gratification, taste for the things of the world may still be there, but we have developed a conviction. I don't want to do it. The taste may be there, but we develop a conviction and faith. No, no, no. This is not good for me. When we say no to sense gratification grudgingly, that is called vairagya. When we say no to sense gratification happily, that is called virakti. So gradually, vairagya will come and virakti will also come. Along with that, gyan will also develop. One will develop the knowledge of Supreme Personality. As we eat our food, as we eat prasad, three things happen. Simultaneously, three things are happening. One gets nourished, one gets satisfied, and the hunger decreases. Tushti, pushti, and kshut apayo anughasam. Similarly, by the practice of Krishna consciousness, three things happen simultaneously. One develops sentiments for Krishna, we develop an experience of Krishna, and we become detached from this world. Bhakti paresha anubhavo virakti अन्यत्र चैषात्रिक एक कालः प्रपद्यमानस्य यथा श्नतस्यो तुष्टि पुष्टि क्षुतपायोनुघासम. So these three things have to happen. So janayati ashu vairagya and gyan. Gyan and vairagya comes automatically. So these two verses they answer the first and second questions. The absolute good for all humanity is bhakti. Essence of all scriptures is bhakti. And this process of bhakti is explained in next most of the chapter till 29th verse. From 8th to 29th verses, the process of bhakti is explained. Very famous verses again come. So in this verse, Sut Goswami is saying that even of our occupational duties which we are doing in our day-to-day lives, that is not parodharma. We may be taking care of our family, we may be taking care of our society. Either we are a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra. That is not Paro Dharma. What is Paro Dharma? What is the supreme religion of every living entity? Dharma svanushtita pumsam vishwaksena kathasuyah na utpadiyed ratim yadi shrama eva hi kevalam. Sud Goswami says, Dharma swa anushtita pumsam. If somebody is taking care of his family, his duties for the society, for the nation very nicely, but if he is not developing a relationship with Krishna, na utpadyed yadi ratim, if he is not developing a taste for Krishna consciousness, shrama evahi kevalam. It is a waste of labor. All our dharmic activities should, all our occupational duties should bring us towards religious life. All our religious activities should make us slowly detach from this world. Hare Krishna. Yeah. So in this verse, Sud Goswami is saying if our all our occupational duties are not bringing us close to Krishna consciousness, that is just a useless labor. All our activities should bring us towards dharmic life. All our dharmic life, dharmic activity should make us slowly detach from this world, and our detachment should bring us close to Krishna. Nehayat karma dharmaya na viragaya kalpate na tirth pada sevaya jivan napi mritopi sa. So that is a secret of Krishna consciousness. All our activities should bring us close to Krishna. And Prabhupada in the purport he describes that people in this world, either they are having selfishness for their own self, that is called personal selfishness or concentrated selfishness, or they may be so very selfless personally, but they may be doing so many things for their family, for their nation. That is called extended selfishness. So therefore, because both are related to the body, me and mine, this is my family, this is my nation, these are my people. That's why I'm doing so many things. By all these activities, people want satisfaction in life, but they don't know how to get satisfaction. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Nasti buddhirayuktasya nachayuktasya bhavana nacha bhavayata shantir ashantasya kutas sukham. O Arjun, if somebody's consciousness is not attached to Supreme Lord, he cannot be peaceful. And a person who is not peaceful can never be happy. So therefore, if we want to be peaceful and satisfied, we have to take shelter of Krishna. And then he says, all our religious activities, occupational duties should be performed for liberation. Dharmasya hi apavargasya nartho arthayopakalpate नार्थस्य धर्म एकांतस्य कामो लाभाय हि स्मृतः. Dharma should be for liberation, not for material gain. When we are coming to Krishna consciousness, we should come to Krishna to develop love for him. We should not go to Krishna asking for material benefits. Na arthayopakalpate. Material gain should never be the goal for occupational engagements. Different people have different goals. The people who are engrossed in sense gratification, karmis, their goal is enjoy life. Jnanis, their goal is control the mind. The yogis, their goal is mystic powers. What is our goal as devotee? Our goal is to develop love for Krishna. What is our dharma? What is the dharma of a devotee who is practicing to put our 100% in our hearing and chanting? The To the extent we are eager, we are attentive in our chanting, in our hearing, to that extent we will develop love for Krishna. So therefore, Stud Goswami continues. He says, Kamasya na indriya priti labho jivet yavata jivasya tattva jigyasa nartho yascheha karmabhi. Kamasya na indriya priti. Your desires should not be directed towards sense gratification. All our desires should be only to please Krishna. Of course, one has to maintain the healthy life, one has to preserve himself, take care of the body, but that should not be the goal of human life. Jivasya tattva jigyasa. What is the goal of human form? To inquire about the absolute. Who is God? Otherwise, there is no use of living. As Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami describes, he says, if a person does not hear the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his life is waste. Paiya manushya janma jena shune gaur gun hina janma tara vyartha hoila. Paiya amrit dhuni piye vishya garta pani janmi ase kene nahi maila. Are you have got a human form and you're not hearing the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? It is as if you have got a river of nectar and you are drinking poison from the deep, dark ditch. Are why did you take birth? You should have died long back. Human form is meant for serving Krishna. We have to take care of the body, no doubt. We have to take care of our health. We have to satisfy our senses. We cannot starve our senses. But we should not do sense gratification. We should do sense satisfaction or self preservation. Whatever is needed to satisfy the senses, that we should do. Eating, seeing something nice, that we have to do, but do it in a Krishna conscious way. We should not do material sense gratification. Okay, what is that truth you are telling? Tattva jigyasa. What is that tattva? What is that highest truth which we have to meditate on? Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yadjnanam abhyayam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdyate. That supreme absolute truth. The knowers of truth have told that the absolute truth is known in three features: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. And Prabhupada, he explains in great detail about the three aspects of the Supreme Lord. And many examples Prabhupada has given. One example Prabhupada gives is sun god, sun planet, and sunshine. So if the sunshine is there, that means the sun planet has to be there. Without the sun planet, sunshine cannot come. And sun planet exists because sun god is there. Similarly, Brahman is like the light which is coming from the body of Krishna. And that same supreme personality who is existing in everyone's heart as Paramatma is Krishna only. So Krishna, the supreme personality in the full manifestation of his various features, he is called as Bhagwan. Bhagwan, then Paramatma, and then Brahman. So one example is of the sun, other example is of the mountain. Prabhupada would give many times. When you see a mountain from afar, you can see just the greenery. But when you come closer, you can identify various trees. And when you enter the forest, you can see various animals, various different types of creepers. These are the three different features of the same person, same thing. Another example Prabhupada would give was of engine of the train. Those who have been to the locals at the train station, when the train is coming from the far, you can just see the light. When the train comes on the station, you can see the various bogies of the train. And when when the train stops, people start coming out of the train. So far, when the only light is seen, that is called Brahman. When we can see the bogies, that is Paramatma. And when we can see the people also, that is Bhagwan feature. So these three examples Prabhupada would give. And then Sukdev Goswami describes what is the process of realizing this absolute truth. How can we realize this supreme person? Tashraddhana munayo jnana vairagya yuktaya pasyantyatmani chatmanam bhaktya ashrutagrihtaya. The serious, inquisitive sage, Shraddhadhana Munayo. Shraddhadhana means faithful. In the process of Krishna consciousness, the faith is a very critical element. Those sages who are faithful, Jnana Vairagya Yuktaya, they are equipped with knowledge and detachment. Pashyanti cha atmani, Pashyanti atmani cha atmanam. They realize the absolute truth by rendering devotional service. How to render devotional service? Shruta Grihitaya. It begins with hearing. So the process of spiritual life, Krishna consciousness, begins with hearing. Absolute truth, which can be realized in three features, it all begins by hearing. Hearing is the way to realize Bhagwan. You know, Prabhupada writes in the purport that a neophyte devotee, the person who is new to Krishna consciousness, for him to sit in a class, 1 hour class, oh my God, so very difficult. But as the person takes to this process, develops some faith, slowly he appreciates the Krishna Katha. And Prabhupada gives a warning there. He says, devotees should be very careful from whom they are hearing. We should not listen any person who is speaking. India is a super mall of spiritual organizations. We have to be really careful from whom we hear. Avaishnava mukhodgirnam putam hari kathamritam shravanam naiva kartavyam sarpochishta yathapaya. Just like if the milk is touched by the serpent, milk is very nourishing. But if it is touched by the serpent, it becomes poisonous. Krishna Katha is so very nourishing to the heart and the soul. But if it is spoken by a bogus spiritualist, a pretender who is not a devotee, that Katha, although it may be pure, Putam Hari Kathamritam, pure Krishna Katha will spoil our spiritual life. And then, now he gives conclusion. अतः पुंबेर्ध्वज श्रेष्ठ वर्णाश्रम विभागशः स्वानुष्ठितस्य धर्मस्य संसिद्धिर हरितोषणम. He says, if you are not doing your if you are doing your occupational duties properly but not doing bhakti, it is waste. He said in the 8th verse. And now he says, if you are doing your gyan, practicing yoga, but if you are not pleasing Krishna, it is all waste. Because the ultimate goal of all the karma, all the gyan, all the yoga is to please Krishna. Atah Pumbir Dvija Sreshta, he says, oh best among the Dvijas, the twice born, you should understand the Sreshta, highest perfection of all the occupational duties is Varnashrama Vibhagashaha. What is the highest perfection? Swanushthitasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. Pleasing the Supreme Personality is the highest perfection of Varnashram, of Jnana, of Yoga. There is nothing greater. If I am not, somebody may ask, if I am not practicing karma, Jnana, Yoga, I will be bereft of the results of those things, right? I want things of the world. I want pleasures of the world. Will I become bereft of that? Yat karmabhir yat tapasa jnana vairagyayascha योगेन दान धर्मेण श्रेयो भीरितरैरपि सर्वं मद्भक्ति योगेन मद्भक्तो लभते अंजसा स्वर्ग अपवर्ग मदधाम कथंचिद यदि वांछति. 11th canto, Krishna is telling to Uddhava, O Uddhav, my devotee, if he is rendering devotional service unto me, he gets the results of all the various processes: karma, tapasya, austerity, yoga, that means the yogic process, dan, charity, all the religious practices, dharma, anything one wants. By practicing all these things, you will get everything by practice of bhakti. You want heaven, you will get heaven. You want mukti, you will get mukti. You want to come to my place, you will come to my place. So therefore he says, be very, very focused. Don't get distracted in spiritual life. Distraction in today's age is very, very, prevalent. We have to be very focused. Tasmadekena manasa bhagwan satvatampati shrotavya kirtitavyascha dheya pujyascha nityada. O sages, be very attentive. One pointed attention is very, very important, essential, crucial to advance in spiritual life. In all our practices of bhakti, either we are hearing, either we are chanting, remembering, we have to be focused. Vyavasayatmika buddhi is very, very important. How will I develop such faith? This is a very tall order. How will I develop such faith? Yad anudhyasina yuktah karma granthi nibandhanam chindanti kovidastasya ko na kuryat katharatim. Yad anudhyasina yuktaha. The remembrance of the Lord is like the sword. This sword of remembering Krishna can cut all our mundane attachments. Karma, granthi, nibandhanam. It can cut apart all our conditionings. Chindanti kovidastasya. Therefore, an intelligent person should use this word of remembering Krishna. Kona kuriyat katharatim. Who will not get attracted to Krishna? Only a animal will not get attracted. Only a fool will not get attracted. Bhagavatam is very strong. Only an animal will give up this process of spiritual life. Because spiritual life gives the best opportunity to enjoy, to be happy. Who is that fool who will not take to the spiritual life? Only a person who is insane will give up this process. If you are mad, you will give up this process, Bhagavatam says. Only an animal will give up this process. Vina naretaram komrama loke purushartha saravit pura kathanam bhagavat katha sudham आपीय कर्णांजलिभिर्भवापहाम aho virajyet vina naretaram. Who is that person in this world? Ko nama. Who is that person? Desiring his welfare, he'll give up this process of spiritual life. If somebody has drunk this nectar of Harikatha and is leaving this process, he is like an animal. So therefore, an intelligent person will never leave. Okay, how does this bhakti progress? How this faith progresses? Now the series of verses come which are very familiar. We have heard many times before beginning Bhagavatam class. The speakers many times they recite these verses. You know how to develop attraction for the topics of the Lord. शुश्रूषो श्रद्धानस्य वासुदेव कथारुचि स्यान्महत्सेवया विप्राः पुण्यतीर्थ निषेवनात्. It begins by service to devotees. In fact, before that, the devotees they show their mercy. It is all starting from a mercy of devotees, causeless mercy of devotees. Some devotees came in our life. Most of us, we never endeavored to become spiritual. Some person, some devotee came and invited us for some program. That is a mercy they gave. And then we started rendering little service. Syan Mahat Seva. The seva to the devotees is very, very important to develop faith. Syan Mahat Sevaya Viprah Punya Tirtha Nishevanat. And then when we uh, serve the devotees, Punya Tirtha Nishevanat, we develop a taste for hearing. That is very, very important to advance in spiritual life. Prabhupada writes in the purport that the devotees of the Lord, they are so very eager to propagate God consciousness. Anyone who serves these devotees, Krishna becomes so very pleased with that person. In fact, Krishna says, if you want to become my devotee, better become the devotee of my devotee. Don't become my servant, become servant of my servant. ये मे भक्त जना पार्था न मे भक्ताश्च ते जना मद्भक्तानां च ये भक्ता ते मे भक्ततमा मताः. Krishna is telling to Arjun, oh Arjun, if somebody says they are my devotees, they are not my devotees. If they say they are devotees of my devotees, they are actually my devotees. Okay, then from when we are hearing with taste, then what happens? You know, then one begins to chant. Shrinvata swakatha Krishna punya shravana kirtana hridayantastho hiya bhadrani vidhunoti suritsatam. When we hear Krishna Katha, Punya Shravan, it is very purifying, auspicious. What happens? The contaminations of the heart becomes cleansed. Rida antastha abhadrani. All the contaminations which are there in the heart becomes purified. So our bhakti begins by hearing. Okay, what else happens when we hear regularly? Two things happen. नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Two things happen when we hear regularly. We become free, almost free from all the anarthas, and bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Gradually, the loving devotional service is established in the heart. Prabhupada writes in the purport there are two types of Bhagavatas, book Bhagavat and the person Bhagavat. Person Bhagavat is more important because person Bhagavat gives us book Bhagavat, explains us book Bhagavat. Then what happens? All the lower modes disappear. Tadarajastamo bhavah kamalobhadayaschaye chetayetairanaviddham stitam sattve prasidati. All the lower modes disappear. Anartha nivritti starts. One becomes happy. One becomes situated in sattva guna. Lust, anger, greed starts disappearing. Then what happens? Devotees become blissful, happy. Evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogatah. Evam prasanna. Naturally, many times people outside, they ask, oh, why are you so happy? How are you so happy? Just 2 days back, Pankajangri Prabhu departed from this world, and somebody sent a story that one new New Yorker, materialistic person, when he saw Pankajangri Prabhu once, he came to him and said, "You are looking so very effulgent. You are looking so very happy. How are you so happy?" And then Prabhuji explained Krishna consciousness, and he embraced Pankajangri Prabhu. That is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. Evam prasanna manaso. So mind cannot be satisfied if the mind is absorbed in things of the world. Only Krishna Katha, Krishna Kirtan, Krishna Seva can purify the mind. What else will happen? Bhidyate hridaya granthi chidyante sarva shamshaya shiyante chasya karmani drishta eva atmanishware. All the knots which are there in the heart, knots means our attachments, they got they get cut. We cannot open the knots. If you can try this. Take a thread, a little thicker thread, and make a knot, and again another knot, like 10-15 knots, and try opening that. Very difficult. You cannot open these knots. You have to cut them. Bhidyate hridaya granthi. The knots of attachment are cut. Chidyante sarva samshaya. All the doubts are dispelled. Why should I practice bhakti? What is the importance of Krishna consciousness? Why should I chant? Why should I spend my time in temple? All these doubts are clarified. And drishta eva atmani shware shiyante cha asya karmani. The chain of fruitive activities are terminated. So that is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. And then Shukdev Goswami, Sud Goswami says, all these things you can experience even in the initial stages of bhakti, sadhana bhakti. That's what we are doing. There are no difficulties. You'll become happy and satisfied. Then, after glorifying the process of devotion, now he is glorifying the Supreme Lord Krishna. He says that Supreme Lord, he accepts various forms in the various modes. He takes the form of Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu. Brahma in the mode of passion, Shiva in the mode of ignorance, and Vishnu in the mode of goodness. Of all these three personalities, human beings can derive their ultimate benefit by serving Lord Vishnu. Because passion is better than ignorance, goodness is better than passion. Supreme Lord Vishnu is all pervading. Just like the fire is permeating the wood, Vishnu is permeating all the universe. Therefore, one should take shelter of Vishnu because he can award us liberation. Then he says, those who are serious in spiritual life, they don't go to devatas. Devatas, they may give some results, but those results are temporary. As Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, Kamaistai ritagyana prapadyante anya devata. People whose intelligence is lost in sense gratification, they go to devatas. Sud Goswami says, devotees do not go to devatas. They respect everyone. We should never ever criticize the devatas. Devatas are also devotees of the Lord. We should not criticize them. But our heart is for Krishna. We should offer all respects to all the devatas. We should not worship them. Worship Krishna, respect all the devatas. And then he says, the sages may ask, But you are telling we should not worship devatas, but Vedas they are telling that devatas are worshipable, right? And you are telling one should not worship devatas? Sut Goswami says, the Vedas give their conclusion. Vasudeva para Veda, Vasudeva para Makha, Vasudeva para Yoga, Vasudeva para Kriya, Vasudeva param Jnanam, Vasudeva parantapa, Vasudevo paro dharmo, Vasudeva paragatihi. Vasudeva para Veda. The ultimate uh, end of all the scriptures is worship of the Vedas. The ultimate purpose of all the sacrifices is to please Vasudeva. Worship. Ultimate purpose of all the Vedas is to please Krishna, please Vasudeva. Vedescha sarvairahmeva vidya. All the yogic processes are meant to please Lord Vasudeva. All the various type of karmic activities, they are meant to serve Krishna. All the different types of knowledges are meant to glorify the Supreme Lord. 20 points of knowledge are described in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says there, apart from these 20 things, anything you read, anything you study, they are not knowledge. It comes in 13.8 to 11. Vasudeva Param Jnana. Knowledge of Krishna is the supreme knowledge. Vasudeva Parantapa. If you want to do any austerity, austerity to please Krishna is a supreme austerity. What is the austerity we have to do? Not much. Just chant attentively, take prasad, follow Ekadashi, like today's Ekadashi, follow Ekadashi, chant attentively, serve devotees. Attentive chanting and attentive dealings. These two things are our austerities. One time, one devotee was there with Prabhupada in Vrindavan and he was not wearing sleepers and he was on the morning walk. Prabhupada said, why are you not wearing sleepers? He said, Prabhupada, we are in Vrindavan. Krishna never wore sleepers in Vrindavan. He was in, little ecstasy. He said, look, Prabhupada said, already there are enough austerities in life. Don't add new one. If you want to add, if you want to do tapasya, chant more. Chant attentively. That is our real tapasya. Vasudeva paro dharmo, Vasudeva paragati. Vasudeva is ultimate religious practice to please Vasudeva, and Vasudeva is the ultimate destination. And therefore, after glorifying the Supreme Lord, now he answers the question number 4. What was the question number 4? About the Purushavtaras. And in that he explains how Krishna manifests in this material world by expanding into various Purushavtaras. He says, in the beginning of the creation, Mahavishnu, also called as Karano Dakshai Vishnu, he produced this material nature and then he glanced on that material nature and the universe was formed. He entered that universe as Garbho Dakshai Vishnu. And then he expanded as Shiro Dakshai Vishnu and became the super soul of all the living entities. Then he answers in brief this question. He will elaborate later. Then he answers the third question. Why Lord appears in this world? Suta Goswami says Lord appears in this world only for one reason. To reclaim the fallen conditioned souls. Lord incarnates in various forms. He incarnates in his holy name, in the deity form, in the form of the scriptures, in the form of prasad. He comes himself, all for one purpose, to attract the fallen conditioned souls and to reclaim them back to the spiritual world. That is the end of this chapter. We'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Anybody has any questions, you can ask, or we'll stop here. Okay, so thank you very much. We'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.